Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today's video is one of my favourite videos to film each month, and that is my monthly releases. So this will be January's new releases that are coming out. So I am always really excited to film this. I love looking at what books are coming out. Obviously I don't very often get to all of the books that I list, but I really have a good time looking through what is coming out and what books I may want to prioritise, what ones I may want to purchase, although we're trying to be better about that in 2026. So I will be heavily using my library, or trying to use my library more, as well as obviously reading my physical TBR, but I do still get very excited about new releases. So I have a lot of new releases. Obviously it's a new year, so there are lots of books coming out in January, and these are just some of the ones that I am excited for. We have like a lot on this list, so as with all of my videos, I probably don't know too much, but we'll have a quick look at the synopsis for some of them and we'll just run through the list. And at the end of the video, let me know what your favourite books are that you're looking forward to that are coming out in January. I'd love to obviously hear what other people are looking forward to. Obviously it may influence what I pick up as well, if I've missed something that you're excited for. So let's dive into the books. So the first one I have on my list is The Book of Blood and Roses by Annie Summerlee. This is the first book in the Callisto Chronicles, and this one I will just read the tagline for, because this is why I added it to my list. Also the cover's really pretty as well. But it says, book one of a seductive sapphic paranormal fantasy, a vampire hunter goes undercover at a mysterious university and falls in love with her roommate, an alluring vampire. That sounds perfect. It's got couple of things that I really love: sapphic romances, vampire romances, set in like a school academic setting, which I absolutely love. So I'm definitely very much looking forward to this one, and I really hope that I enjoy it. Next we have Playing for Keeps by Alexandra Bellfleur. This one I am really excited for. Alexandra Bellfleur typically writes sapphic romances. I think all of the books that she's written have been sapphic. I'm not up to date with her books by any means, of course, but the ones that I have read from her I've really enjoyed. And this one is a sapphic rom-com about two rival publicists who are forced to work together when their mega famous clients begin to date. So I am really looking forward to this one. This is a workplace romance, forced proximity, secret relationship. So sounds perfect, and the cover for this one I really love. For the US cover, I think I mentioned in my contemporary 2026 releases that I was looking forward to. The UK cover for this is terrible. It's so bland in comparison. I don't know why, but the UK covers for her past few books have been really not it compared to the US covers. So the cover the cover doesn't really draw you in, but the synopsis definitely does. So I do plan to pick that one up. And then we have a new Freida McFadden book, which I'm not going to read the synopsis for because I like not knowing too much about them. But this one is called Dear Debbie, and I will definitely be picking this up at some point. Freida McFadden books are just so much fun to read. They're just kind of crazy books that kind of really grip you in. They're not necessarily the best written, but I always have a fun time reading them. And this one will obviously be some sort of mystery thriller with some sort of twist that's probably not expected. Freida McFadden publishes books like crazy, so I'm interested to check this one out, and I'm sure this will be one of many that come out in 2026. Then we have Half His Age by Jennette McCurdy. This is Jennette McCurdy's first fiction release. So she released her autobiography a couple of years ago, which was called I'm Glad My Mum Died, which I really enjoyed. She narrated the audiobook for that, and it was really well done. It was very interesting to hear more about her life, and this is her first fiction release, and I think this fiction release does kind of pull on some things that she experienced in her life as well, but it is predominantly fiction, and I'm interested to see how she kind of tells this story. But it says, a sad, funny, thrilling novel about sex, consumerism, class, desire, loneliness, the internet the internet, rage, intimacy, power, and the oftentimes misguided lengths we'll go to in order to get what we want. So interested to see what happens in this one. It says it's a rich character study of a yearning 17-year-old who disregards all obstacles or attempts to overcome them in her effort to be seen, to be desired, to be loved. So definitely interested to see what Jennette McCurdy does with this. I think it could be quite a powerful read if it's done well. I hope it is. And yeah, I'm definitely intrigued to check this one out. I have this one on hold from my library. Then we have The Storm by Rachel Hawkins. Rachel Hawkins releases a book pretty much every January, and this one is it'll be historical fiction because that's by the looks of it. It's set in Alabama, is famous for three things: the deadly hurricanes that regularly sweep into town, the Rosalie Inn, a century-old hotel that survived every one of those storms, and Lo Bailey, the local girl infamously accused of the murder of her lover, Landon Fitzroy, during Hurricane Marie in 1984. So interested to check this one out. I've read all of pretty much all of Rachel Hawkins' books, and some are definitely better than others, but I've had a good time with them. So I'm definitely interested to see what this new release is like. It will have, I assume, some sort of mystery element in it as well. So definitely interested to see what happens in that. Then we have a new Colleen Hoover book, and Colleen Hoover is very much a hit or miss author for me, but I am intrigued to see what happens in this new one. It's called Woman Down, and this one is a new thriller. So she has written a few thrillers in the past, notably Verity, which I really enjoyed at the time, and she also did another one which was called Layla, which I really didn't like. So I'm interested to see how this one goes. But this, I don't want to read too much of the synopsis because it's as I say, a thriller. But I believe this one's going to be available on Kindle Unlimited, so I will probably be checking it out at some point. Then we have The Future Saints by Ashley Winstead. This one says it's perfect for fans of Daisy Jones and the Six and In 5 Years. A beautiful, powerful and transportive new novel about a music executive desperately trying to bring a rock band back from the brink. So very different from her 2025 release, which I didn't actually love, but I'm interested to see what happens in this one. It seems different from the other things that I've read by Ashley Winstead. She seems to write quite different books. So we've had like a mystery thriller, which was last year's release, which I didn't love. She's done very much like heavy romance books, like rom-com type stuff. And yeah, this one, it sounds interesting. It sounds like it's going, as it says, it'll be a bit like Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm not sure if it is historical or set in like current day, but I'm looking forward to checking that one out for sure. Then we have Catch Her If You Can by Tessa Bailey. This is book 5 in her Big Shot series. So I've read a few of the books from this series, and some of them have been ones that I haven't loved so much, like Dreamgirl Drama, which was book 3. Didn't really like that one, but Fangirl Down, which is book 1, I did really enjoy. So we'll see what happens with this one. This one is a marriage of convenience, friends to lovers sports romance about a baseball catcher and the burlesque club owner he can't get out of his head. So sounds like it'll be interesting. I love Marriage of Convenience, so I'm definitely hoping that I will like it. Tessa Bailey can be quite hit or miss for me, but I have high hopes for that one. Then we have Legacy by Carrie Ann Ryan. This is going to be book 1 in a new series for her, and this is the Ashford Creek series. This one is going to be a small town romance, and this one is an age gap, best friend's little sister, small town romance, and the first book in the new series. So definitely looking forward to picking up this one. I really enjoy Carrie Ann Ryan's books and hopefully this one will be a good one, and we'll see. She did release a little short novella called Careless, which was like an introduction to this series, which I haven't yet read. I think this one is like a introduction to the couple that's going to feature in the first book, so I'll definitely be reading that before diving into Legacy. Then we have Come What May by Corinne Michaels, which is book 4 in the Ember Falls series. I'm not up to date with this series at all, but I do want to check it out at some point, and I'm obviously put this on this list. This one is obviously a small town romance, and this one is, I think it's a dad's best friend romance, which... No, not dad's best friend. Best friend's dad romance. Yeah. My best friend... Yeah, it's a best friend's dad romance. So that sounds interesting. I haven't read too many of those, so we'll see when I get to that. I obviously have quite a few books to read before I get to that one. Then we have The Exception by V. Keeland. I really enjoy V. Keeland's books. Again, I'm not up to date with them, but this one sounds fun. This one is... it sounds like it's going to be centered around a dating app that has people with very specific tastes, it says, and then it turns out that she gets matched with her boss. So I really love a workplace romance, so I'm definitely interested to check that one out. Then we have Fundamentals of Being a Good Girl by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. This is their latest book that they are co-writing together, and this one is a single dad romance with the nanny, and I'm really looking forward to this. I love single dad nanny books, so really high hopes. I've really liked what these authors have written together before, so hopefully I will enjoy this one. Then I have Remember That Day by Mary Balogh. This is book 5 in the Ravenswood series, which is a historical romance series. I'm actually up to date on this series, I think. Yeah, I'm up to date on this series, which is a first. So I will very much be looking forward to picking up this one. I don't know the tropes of it, but I'm sure it will be a great time. Mary Balogh is one of my favourite historical romance authors. Then we have Rings of Fate by Melissa De La Cruz. This is book 1 in the Curses and Crowns series, which is going to be a debut adult romantasy series from this author. I used to read her Blue Blood series, which was a vampire series, years ago when it was like when vampire books were really popular, and this one, as I say, is going to be her first adult book, which is very exciting. It says, every barmaid dreams of a prince. Aaron just didn't expect hers to be cursed, arrogant, and bleeding magical ruin all over her tavern floor. So yeah, interesting. A prince, a curse, and a fate far more dangerous than falling in love. Sounds like it's going to be really good. I'm definitely interested to check this one out, and we'll see what this author does in the adult space. Really excited for that one. Then we have Such Sheltered Lives by Alyssa Scheinmel. This one is a mystery thriller, and it says it's perfect for fans of Nine Perfect Strangers and The Midnight Feast, a moody, atmospheric psychological suspense set in the secret world of celebrity rehab centres. So definitely interested to check that one out. Nine Perfect Strangers I actually really didn't like, but I did like The Midnight Feast, so I'm interested to see what happens in this one. I have read one other book from this author like years ago, and I think that one was a young adult book, but I'm pretty sure this one's going to be adult. I hope it is. I might need to double check because I don't love young adult mystery thrillers, but I'm pretty sure that one's going to be adult. Then we have The Alpine Retreat by Sarah Goodwin. Sarah Goodwin is an author that I've read a few books from, and I have really enjoyed them. She does seems to write a lot of books that feature that trope that I really love with mystery thrillers, when they're in like this isolated setting. And this one is going to be set in a wellness retreat in the Swiss Alps, and obviously they're going to be, I assume, cut off from the rest of civilization, which I absolutely love reading in a mystery thriller, so I have high hopes for that one. Then we have The Slow Burn by Ali Rosen. This author I discovered in December of 2025 when I read the short story from the Home Sweet Holidays collection, and she's an author that I do want to check out. And this one is her 2026 release, which seems like a good place to get in. Start with. This one looks like it's going to be a standalone, and it says it's a warm, witty novel about a chef whose unexpected summer in Italy turns messier and richer than any recipe she ever would have planned. Between a breakup and a burned down restaurant, there's nothing left in New York for her, so she travels to Italy for the summer, and sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm interested to check that one out for sure. Then we have Autonomy of an Alibi by Ashley Elston. I have never read from this author before, but this book seems to be getting a lot of push. Like I've seen it quite a lot coming up on social media, and Goodreads, they seem to be pushing this one quite a lot. This one again is going to be another mystery thriller, and it says it's a tense, feverish thriller about two women's lives that are forever intertwined when a murder threatens to expose them both. And that's all I want to know about that one. I think I've got that one on hold from the library, so I'm definitely intrigued to check that one out. Then we have A Vow in Vengeance by Jacqueline Rodriguez, which is book 1 in the Immortal Desires series. This one says, deadly tarot, wicked schemes, dangerous alliances, can you survive the forge? Sexy, action-packed and brimming with magic. And this one is a romantasy debut. Tropes include enemies to lovers, fake dating, fake fated mates, coming of rage, and there's only one bed, it says. So sounds like it's going to be great. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. And then we have Hollow by Selena Myers. I think this one is a re-release. I think this was originally possibly indie published and is now being traditionally published, but I'm not 100% sure. And this one says it's a intriguing novel about a woman who finds her destiny and her family after being turned into a vampire. So it's another vampire book. You know how I feel about vampire books, so that is why that one had to go on the list. Then we have We Who Have No Gods by Lisa Anderson. This one is witches. It says, in a world of witches, a human woman must hunt or be hunted in this explosive, gothic, dark academia fantasy filled with warbent rivals, guarded secrets, and simmering chemistry. So again, sounds perfect. I'm very much looking forward to that one. And then we have Graceless Heart by Isabel Ilabanez, I think. This one's going to be in a few book boxes, I think. The cover is very intriguing for this one, or at least the US one is. I don't know if the UK cover is going to be as nice, but we'll see. And this says it's a lush, atmospheric and achingly magical standalone adult fantasy romance set in Renaissance Italy. So definitely interested to check this one out. I do enjoy that it is going to be a standalone, so I feel like we need more standalone fantasy romances rather than the big long series. Yeah, so definitely looking forward to that one. Then we have The Wolf and the Crown of Blood by Elizabeth May. This is book 1 in the Broken Accord series. And this one, I think, is this also vampires? Maybe not. It says, packed with dark fairy tale vibes, gothic romance, and tropes like enemies to lovers, forced proximity, death pacts, and villain gets the girl. This is a story where love is as deadly as it's irresistible. So I don't think this one is vampires, but it definitely has kind of gothic vibes, I feel, and I'm intrigued to check this one out. Then we have A Killer Kind of Romance by Letizia Larini, I think is how that's pronounced. And this one looks like it's going a bit like Bryn Weaver style, which may or may not work. I don't love Brynne Weaver's books, but I will see how I get on with this one. And this says, a crime podcast host must solve a chilling serial killer case while navigating an unexpected romance with her mysterious next door neighbour. So, sounds like it could be fun. Then we have The Elsewhere Express by Samantha Soto Yambao. And this one looks like it's going to be like cozy fantasy, which I'm definitely interested to read more of. And it says, step aboard the train that can take you to your life's purpose in this cozy and inspiring fantasy. So interested to see that one. I definitely want to read more cozy fantasy in 2026. And the cover for this one is absolutely stunning. Then we have Fruit of the Flesh by Ivy Ophelia. This one is, it says, behind the glamour of Gilded Age New York, a marriage of convenience between an artisan and a ballerina mask their shared appetite for revenge in this darkly seductive gothic romance, which sounds perfect. I love Gilded Age New York. Anything Gilded Age New York is always going to be a hit with me, so I hope that I have a good time with that one. Then we have Meet the Newmans by Jennifer Niven, and this one sounds really interesting. This one is a historical fiction. It says it's perfect for fans of Lessons in Chemistry and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, two books that I absolutely loved. And this follows a America's Favorite TV family, so very much interested to check this one out. It's set in the 1960s. It says Meet the Newmans is a rich family story about the dual lives we lead, because even when our lives aren't televised weekly, we all have a behind the scenes. So very much looking forward to that one. I have high hopes for it and I really hope it delivers. Then we have Chasing the Ring by Lauren Rowe. This is book 1 in the Football and Feels series. This one is obviously a sports romance, and it says it's perfect for fans of Sarah Adams, Tessa Bailey, Monica Murphy, Kristen Callahan and Lucy Score. And I really want to read more sports romances. I had a great time with the sports romances I read in 2025, so I really want to check out more in 2026. Then we have Drive Me Crazy by Lizzie Dent. This one is a F1 or F1 romance, and it says sparks fly when an up-and-coming team principal and her new hotshot driver and former childhood crush are forced to work together to save their careers and team in this deliciously winning Formula One romance. So what more could we want? I love like childhood crush situations, so I'm interested to see how this one plays out. Then we have The Briars by Sarah Crouch. This one is another mystery thriller, and I'm not going to lie, it's on this list purely because of the cover. I love the cover on here. It says it's a lush, atmospheric novel of suspense following a young woman whose job as a game warden puts her in the path of a murderer in a small town eager to protect its own. So definitely interested to check that one out. I've not read from that author before, but as I say, the cover really drew me in. Then we have The Midnight Carousel by Fiza Saeed McLean, and I think this one may be a re-release as well, but this one says, and this is what drew me in, it says the night circus meets Water for Elephants in this enchanting, darkly glittering story of grief, obsession, revenge and enduring love. And it's set in the 1920s, again another time period that I absolutely love, and I really liked the Midnight Circus and Water for Elephants, so definitely looking forward to checking that one out. Then we have The Retirees by Leah Orr. This one again is another cover pick, and this one is set in a retirement community where retirement has never felt so deadly, and it looks like there's a serial killer on the loose, and the old residents of the care home are like solving the mystery. I think it's a bit like the Thursday Murder Mystery Club. It says it's a witty, tightly woven, charming, cozy mystery. So definitely interested to check that one out. I've not read anything from this author. As I say, I purely was drawn in by the cover initially. I've only got a few left, I think. Oh, actually, no, we've still got quite a way to go. There is quite a lot of books, as I mentioned. I'm not going to get to these, of course, but I'm not going to get to all of these, of course, but I really wanted to make note of the ones I'm really looking forward to. And this one is Picnics and Promises at Strawberry Fields by Victoria Walters. This one is like a sequel in the same series as the Pumpkin, what was that one called? Pumpkin something, Love and Lattes at Pumpkin Hollow. And this one says it's going to be a with a runaway bride fake dating story. So I'm intrigued by that one. I had a good time with the autumn book that she published in this series, so definitely looking forward to checking that out. It's the Birch Tree Farm series, and that's obviously going to be book 2. Then we have Just Breaking the Rules by Lauren Blakely. This is book 1 in a new series called the Hockey Ever After series. I really got into Lauren Blakely's books in 2025 and I want to continue to check her books out. And this one I had to include because it's a brother's best friend, single dad workplace romance, which sounds perfect. I love single dad romances, so definitely intrigued to check that one out. Then we have My January Duke by Kate Bateman. This one is a short novella and it looks like this is a series that a bunch of historical romance authors do, where they each write a novella for each month. So there is going to be one in February and March from different authors, and they did one in 2025 which I didn't realise, and I definitely want to go back and check out. But yeah, looking forward to checking out a novella by Kate Bateman. I really enjoy her writing, and I think this will be a good way to read more historical romance because they're so short. Then we have A Box Full of Darkness by Simone St. James. This one I was initially drawn in because of the cover, and then I saw the UK cover and was immediately disappointed. But this one is a haunted house story, I think, which I'm interested to see what I make of this one. I've heard good things about Simone St. James's books, but I've not read any of them yet, so I want to check her out in 2026. Then we have Most Eligible by Isabel Engel, and this one says Miss Congeniality meets The Bachelor in this action-packed rom-com debut about an investigative journalist who sneaks onto reality TV only to fall for the wrong guy. So that sounds like it could be a lot of fun and just like a light read. Then we have Pretty Vicious by Lexi Davis, and this is book 1 in a new series called The Order. And this one is a college romance, I think. Why did I add this one? Oh yeah, it says Dark Academia meets Southern Gothic in this emotionally intense, enemies to lovers, forced proximity, morally grey, twisted college romance filled with secrets, violence and impossible love. So sounds perfect. I really like the cover for this one, so I will have to see if I get to it. Then we have Room 706 by Ellie Levinson. This one is it says, trapped in a London hotel room with her lover, a woman must contend with her life and her marriage in this exhilarating debut. It says it's an exploration of marriage, identity and desire. Room 706 traces the complicated story of one woman's life as she faces what her future might hold, if she even makes it through the day. So I think what happens is she's in this hotel with her lover, and then the hotel gets like taken over by like some sort of like hostage situation. And she's obviously trapped in this room with this guy. And she obviously starts questioning her life and her choices. So I'm definitely interested to check that one out for sure. Then we have Romance is Dead by Katie Bond. This one is like a romantic comedy as well, I think. Scream Queen Quinn has had it with scary movies. After years as Hollywood's horror it girl, she's sick of the tabloids and the off-screen drama, so she's decided one last film before quitting for good. All that stands in her way is leading man Teddy James, reality TV star and renowned playboy. Teddy has looks to kill for but absolutely no talent. So it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's obviously going to be their romance. It's not got the best ratings. It's got a 3.5 rating, which, considering this book's not been released yet, is quite low. So I will have to see whether I get to that one. Then we have The Lust Crusade by Joe Segura. And this is book 3 in the Raiders of the Lost Heart series, which I haven't read any of the other books, but I like the sound of this one. And this one says it's a plucky librarian and an archaeologist on the run fake an engagement to save their lives, leading them into the labyrinth of their own desires. So it sounds like a lot of fun. I've heard good things about this series, so I am definitely intrigued to pick it up at some point. Then we have The Story We Wrote by M. Hartley, which is book 1 in the Faircloud series. This one is a Friends to Lovers, I think. Follow Boone and Aspen along a journey of self-discovery, friendship and love in a small-town cowboy romance. So I love that, and the cover for this is really pretty too. Then we have Beth is Dead by Katie Burnett, which is a reimagining of Little Women. It says Beth March's sisters will stop at nothing to track down her killer until they begin to suspect each other in this debut thriller that's also a bold contemporary reimagining of the beloved classic Little Women. So sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I've read Little Women quite a few years ago now, and I had a good time with it, so I'm interested to check out this reimagining. Then we have The Redo List by Denise Williams. This one again has a really cute cover. And this one is a second chance romance, a second chance at your first time. Following a bad breakup, Willow Lewis tackles a redo list with the help of her brother's best friend in this sweet and sexy new romance from Denise Williams. Okay, so sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Brother's best friend romance seems to be a trope that's coming out a lot in January, so definitely looking forward to checking out that one. Then we have this one, which is Anne of a Different Island by Virginia Cantra, and this one is a Anne of Green Gables inspired romance. So we've got Little Women inspired romance and Anne of Green Gables inspired story, and this one I am interested to check out as well. I have read Anne of Green Gables as well, again quite a long time ago, but I'm always interested to check out reimaginings and retellings of classics, and I also really like the cover for this one as well, so hopefully I will enjoy it. And then we have something that I'm really excited for, and this is a new novella collection coming out to Kindle Unlimited at the end of January, and it's the Improbable Meet Cute Second Chances series. So they did the Improbable Meet Cutes last year in 2025 or maybe in 2024, but we have 6 new novellas which I will definitely be doing a video on, and I'm very excited. It's got some new authors in here who've not been in previous collections. It has got some repeat authors, but yeah, really looking forward to this. So we have Valentine's Sleigh by Nevessa Allen, and because these are novellas, I'm not going to look up the synopses for these. So Nevessa Allen, which I've read one book by her and had a good time with, so I'm interested to see what she does in terms of a short story. Time Will Tell by Hannah Bonham Young, A Play for Love by Trelina Pucci. Death to Valentine's Day by Catherine Cowles, Accidentally Yours by Christina Lauren, and Second Act Romance by Julie Soto. So I am really excited for this collection, and these are ones I definitely will be reading. As I say, I plan to do a whole video on them, as with a lot of my other novella videos, and these are all going to be on Kindle Unlimited with the read and listen function, and I absolutely cannot wait for them. I love novellas, I love seasonal novellas, and these are obviously all going to be for Valentine's Day, and yeah, very excited for those. So I know this was a lot of books on this list, and as I mentioned, I won't be getting to all of these. Some I will probably never read, but there are definitely ones I'm interested in, and I will be kind of keeping an eye out on reviews, and obviously they will probably influence which ones I end up picking up and which ones my library gets and which ones are on Kindle Unlimited, like which ones I have access to. will definitely influence which ones I get to. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if any of the ones that I've mentioned you'll be checking out, and if there are any that I haven't mentioned, let me know if I need to add them to my list, and I will see you in my next video.